Hello there and welcome to another one. My name is Tatenda, back with another one. It's game on, baby. And in a few seconds, I had a chat with Mdu Mbatha. He's the assistant coach of the Dolphins. The Dolphins are out in Durban in the KZN professional setup. He's a fielding coach there, assistant coach there, and a man that is full of so much wisdom and positivity. But before we jump onto there, remember Best Many Removals is there to help you with your seamless transition from one spot to the other. Whether you're moving houses or moving offices, let them do it for you. And you know the daunting task of moving things and searching the box for this and that, let them do it for you. Head on down to www.bestminiremovals.co.za for any of all your needs, or the phone number down below, and Norman Abraham is going to be there and make sure that he helps you to the best of his ability. He is a professional. They are professionals. They've got the setup, they've got the manpower, they've got the trucks, and making sure that your stuff gets to the other end in and around Joburg safely and sound. Before I take time, let's jump on to the Zoom recording. We had to catch up with Mduduzi on Zoom because obviously he's in Durban and we're in Joburg. And when they were around with the Titans, we could not make a plan to sit down. But nonetheless, it was amazing, exhilarating. Enjoy.
Yeah. Please tell me that I can't, that I won't, that I fail, that I'll never make it out, yeah. Please tell me all the bad, never good, fill my head full of every single doubt, yeah. Please say any negative thoughts, I pop off when I hear people.
How are you doing, Coachy?
I'm very good. On yourself, how are you?
Oh, good, oh, good. I was so looking forward to seeing you in person, but yeah, it was not to be. Are you still in Joburg?
No, we came back on Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
After the game.
Oh,
we came back on Wednesday. I was also looking forward to seeing you in person. I had a present for you, but it's fine. I saw you wearing the Lions jersey. I saw you wearing the Lions jersey. And then I was like, no way, you need to wear our jersey. But it's fine. It's your loss, not mine.
No, there's Pep Sand and there's all sorts of stuff to get that shirt to me, Coach.
Make a plan. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about it. I was like, this one is not serious.
You see, now we may as well just cancel the recording and make a plan. I will take a flight to Durban to get my shirt.
I'll make a plan. I'll get it to you. We should be playing the Lions, but yeah, I think, but you'll only get it next year. We should be playing the Lions at Wanderers at some point next year. So yeah,
okay.
Early next year.
Awesome stuff. How are you doing?
I'm very good. I think it's more, when you're a passionate cricket guy like myself, and you overanalyze stuff and you think about the game. Yesterday was a lot. Yeah, yesterday was a lot. Yeah, the semi-final was a lot. Yeah, was a lot.
I actually wanted to engage with you on the semi-final before we get into who Mdu is. And what were your 2 cents from the semi-final?
To be very honest with you, I thought that we had the team to, first of all, win the World Cup all in all. I think the batting effort throughout the whole World Cup has been sensational. It was really, really good to see. I was very confident that we'll come out on top this game. But in terms of the finals, I think it's all about pressure moments. It's about wanting it at the right time, performing and doing the right stuff at the right time. And I think Australia came out all guns blazing. They fielding efforts in the power play, the bowling in the power play, and once you're on the back foot, it's always hard to come back, especially in a semi-final, because everything happens pretty quick. But I thought the guys showed great fights with the ball. But yeah, I think 250 would have been decent enough target.
Yeah, I think 250 was definitely game one. What do you think of the bet first in overcast conditions, Coach?
No, that one, that's hindsight. Everybody's going to say that we should look. But if you look at the history, we're good at setting. So we went that way. I just feel that, that's in hindsight. I think on other days, when you look at the dismissals, the guys still did what they showed and went about it the way they normally go about it. So unfortunately, just on that day, it didn't come off. And it's part of the game. But I just think, that one was a choice that was made obviously beforehand and backing our ability to set and put them under pressure. But I guess what happened, they put us under pressure with the way they bowled.
Yeah. I guess we have to come back to the drawing board and wait for another 4 years to try and sort whatever that needs to be sorted. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's another 4 years. I think it's exciting time. Quite a few of the guys shouldn't be available for the next World Cup. Some will obviously try to be there, but there's quite a few that won't be there. I think it's exciting time in South African cricket, and I'm curious to see what the coach does in terms of building up to the 2027. Does he go in with new players starting early and giving them experience nice and early, or does he hold on to the guys and then introduce the younger guys a little bit later? That's going to be interesting to see. So. Curious to see what decisions are made when it comes to that.
Yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the show. Thank you so much for joining us on the Game On podcast. And it's always a pleasure when servants and custodians of the game come through to chat about their life, about their journey, what they aspire to be, and the bigger goal or the bigger vision. And when your name come about, the first thing was from the whole team, who is Mdu Mbatha? And I think that will be the first question, because not only is it some of us are in the cricket circles, we know you, but not everyone that watches the show is in cahoots or knows about the game of cricket. So it's always going to be a question where it's not coming from a disrespectful point of view, but also from the listener and the viewer that is watching this. So who is Mdu?
First of all, thank you for having me on the show. It's a privilege. I've seen the people that you guys have brought on. It's an honor and privilege for me to be invited to such a podcast that has done extremely well. I'm a cricket coach. That's my profession. That's what I do. I am the assistant coach for the Dolphins cricket team, who specializes in batting and fielding. So that's what I do as a profession. But I'm a youngster who's excited and keen to make a difference in South African cricket. I've been involved in the game my whole life, and privileged to have gone into the professional field as behind the scenes, which is coaching, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm from Durban. I'm the only child to a mother who grew up in the township of KwaMashu, and it's only a beautiful story for me to see myself where I am right now.
Wow. When did the bug start? When did you say, there is a cricket bat, there is a ball, there is people that are chasing this red thing or this white thing, whatever the case may be? How old were you when cricket became, I think I can make it, or before I can say, how old were you when you said you can make something out of cricket? How old were you when you started knowing about cricket?
With me, it started with Baker's mini cricket. When I was in the primary school that I went to, we played Baker's mini cricket. And I really enjoyed it. I was intrigued with how the game works and how it's played. And I had good hand and eye coordination. So I felt as if, I could be really good. And I stood out amongst my peers. And that's when I thought, I must have something special when it comes to this game. I seem to be hitting the ball a little bit further than others, catching the ball, being able to bowl, just all around ball skills, which I was happy with. And I was able to obviously fall in love with the game then. I think a lot of people, and I don't know, I always think of it, I was the type of guy, when you're good at something, you obviously then fall in love with it. It's always been a thing of mine, but I think that's when I fell in love with the game. I tried it out and it worked out, and I said, no, I'm going with it. And that's it from primary school days and that Baker's mini cricket.
Wow. It's amazing that you speak about Baker's, and that was Baker's back in the day, and now it's KFC. How important are those foundational phases when it comes to cricket? Because not everyone gets to appreciate KFC now. With you, it was Baker's, but it's still the same concept and the same sort of foundation of the game. How important is that, and how important was that in building you as a character and building you as a player to now be a coach?
I think Baker's mini cricket and KFC mini cricket is the foundation of cricket itself. It's the getting to understand, meeting friends, coming together. For me, it was really, really important because it allowed me to make friends, first of all, fall in love with the game that way, meet new people, get excited to come there on a Saturday morning, get nervous, wanting to do as well as you can. And I think for me, most importantly, was building relationships, and this was a game that was played by males and females. It wasn't just boys only. But I think it's a massive foundation also for people just to understand the game, the basics of the game, how the game is actually played. At Baker's mini cricket, you see parents when guys hit the ball, they say run, and then everybody runs, and and then everybody at once chases
and it's
the ball.
chaos.
And it's just like, okay, what's going on? But it's just literally introducing the game. I think it's so important. Introduction of the game, falling in love with the game, foundation of the game, and also people away from the game. Teachers are now involved in an extramural, just for kids to come together. And I don't know how it works nowadays with the KFC, but with us Baker's mini cricket, we know that after the games you go get Baker's cakes, and it was nice, cakes and juice and that sort of stuff. So it was a well spent Saturday morning, and excited parents there on the side, seeing their kids go out and start their sporting career playing cricket. And remember that cricket is first and fourth term at our school, so it's literally the first sport that we were introduced to. So that was really, really exciting.
Awesome stuff. And then there's no better incentive than having those biscuits and having some juice, and you're like, oh yeah. So I played cricket and still gonna have that. So it's amazing. Yeah. You said you were raised by a mom. Did your mom understand the game of cricket, and it so much so that she would support your journey?
To be very honest, my mom didn't understand the game. She learned about the game when I played. I think because coming from the township, she would drop me off, and then now and again, depending on how long it would be, she would sit around and watch. She tried to watch now and again, but obviously not with too much understanding. My mom was a hardworking lady who couldn't spend too much time watching it because she was either at the office or had errands to run. But I think the nice thing with my mother was she's a social worker, and she was always there to encourage me and knew how to point me in the right direction, showed the love towards me and what I was trying to do. So that was really, and I appreciate that on a daily basis, that I've got someone who supports me and cares for me, and a massive support structure. So she was there, didn't understand the game, but got to understand the game, and because I obviously played a lot of it, and a good person to have on my corner.
Wow. Amazing that you say your mom was a social worker. Did that help you, obviously, when you go through slums or when you go through self-doubt and all that? Did you find your mom to be helpful with your mental health?
Yes, it's interesting, when we talk mental health and we talk about support, I think my mother was very simple. She was just there and showed caring. She didn't understand too much of the game. So even if I did well or did bad, she would just make sure that I'm happy and I'm fine. Yeah. And I was enjoying what I was doing, and I really enjoyed that. And I was really out there having fun. I think the most important thing for me was I just wanted to go out there and try to be the best I could be. And it excited me, the fact that I could get better. I was very obsessed with getting better. So if I wasn't that good, I felt like I could do better, and then I would work on it. And then something that I don't know where it came from, but it's just something that I wanted to get better at, the game. So I don't remember being young and, not having self-doubt or not quite sure about my ability. I was always sure because I knew I would always get better. To actually bring it back, my mother was working all the time. So my granddad used to take me, and my granddad was someone who was like a very OCD and very focused guy. So I used to watch him all the time. So he used to polish his shoes before he went to work. And this all planted a seed of preparation into me. Like, why is this guy ironing his stuff, making sure everything's clean, being on time, showing a lot of effort in his work, was very, very precise, had been working for a long period of time. And I don't know, it just planted a seed. And they said that my grandfather used to play soccer professionally for African Wanderers, African Wanderers. And I saw that from him, that he was very structured in what he did, how he did stuff. And then I don't know, I think it rubbed off.
Wow.
It rubbed off, and I was someone who just believed that I can be better. You know, I never saw it as like a failure. I saw like, okay, cool, I didn't do well, I can do better next time. Yeah,
wow.
that's just how I saw it. I didn't have any pressure or felt bad if things didn't go well. I just said I'll come back and do it again better next time.
Wow, that takes so much mental strength to get to a point where even if something doesn't go well with the bat, I know I'm gonna feel better, or I'm gonna bowl, I'm not gonna keep wicket, whatever the case may be. And a lot of players struggle to get that. The moment they get out with a dodgy decision, then the whole hell breaks loose. So kudos to you for having such mental strength. And I like you're saying, I think you think it rubbed off from your grandfather being always so preparatory of whatever that he needs to do. And I want to go off route a little bit. Did you see the Angelo Matthews timed out? Can you then say that Angelo Matthews was not prepared enough? Because as a batsman, you need to make sure that your pad straps are good, your bat is okay, your grips and everything, your helmet straps are okay. For a guy, a professional guy, to then go in the middle, only to realize that the strap of his helmet was not right, could you say that it's because he was not prepared enough? And that can be advice to the younger generation or to the players out there, that before you go in, or the day before you go in, make sure that everything is packed up, just like your grandfather would polish his shoes, and he was not polishing the very same time that he's about to leave the house. It will be polished, and I can attest to that, because my father was the same. Shoes were polished night before, socks were set night before. When you wake up in the morning, everything is just said, you're wearing this, you're wearing that, boom, and you go. So could we say that Angelo Matthews, and that would be advised as well to the cricketing fraternity, that he had not prepared amply so before the game?
Yeah, I think some guys do double check their kit before when they get to the change room. You get different kind of people. Some guys are very structured, so they want their pads, they want their bats in one line, their socks, they But there's also guys that just throw their stuff around. The advice obviously would be for the one who's more structured, more prepared. But I'm not going to sit here and lie and say that I haven't seen guys that come to the change room, their stuff is a mess, and they still go out there and perform. So I think it's important. Yeah. So it is a good habit to have, but I'm not saying you have to do it. It gives you a better opportunity to be ready, because I know quite a few guys that they just leave their bag, they just throw their things in their bag, and these are seasoned professionals that perform. Yes, we would like that, everybody to be like that, but each to their own. Guys are different, and so I can't really say he was wrong, he was right. It's I'm like that, but I can't expect anybody to be like that. You know what I mean?
Coach Doozy doesn't want to implicate himself, yeah?
No. People are different. I'm big on that, eh?
Yeah.
People are different. I'll give you an example. Some people want to listen to music. I'm big on music. It gets me upbeat, gets me going. That's who I am. Other people want to sit in silence. Some people want to read. We all prepare differently, and you've got to respect each human being for how they prepare, and you let them be. And that's just how I believe. It's very important that we look at the individual and what gets them into the best space. So if you now tell me that everything of mine must be in order and my pads, and maybe that's not for me. I feel like I'm overthinking things and I'm overdoing it. Maybe that's not for me. For other guys, they want it like that. For other guys, they don't want to be thinking anything at all until they play. And so it's just, for me, I just think it's up to the individual how they go about their business.
Yeah. Before I lose my train of thought, because we're still going to come back to your junior cricket, how important is it now as a coach to understand the difference in people? Because right now in your camp, you've got more than 50 players, and you still need to understand them individually. What makes one tick may not be the same thing that someone else ticks. What Cyril Evie looks at as that is good motivation. Maybe what's this kid from Joburg, the lefty, Ackerman.
Yes, Ackerman. Yes.
Maybe that's not the same thing that makes him tick as well. How important is it from a professional setup to understand the kind of players, and as you are setting up drills or however that you are addressing the changing room, how important is it to understand the difference in people and how then to structure how you speak to one player as opposed to how you speak to another player?
I think that's one of the most important things. Number one for me when I'm coaching is to build a connection with the player. And that's an individual connection with each player. And this is really important because you get an understanding of the player. It's the connection. I could be a brilliant coach. I don't have a connection with the player. They don't listen to what I say. So the first thing is for me to build a connection with you as a human being before I can help you in any way when it comes to your cricket. So in that connection, you get to understand the person and what gets them going and gets them ticking. And then through that, you build on and on and on and on. I think the most important thing, I think a lot of players like to trust their coach. And once a player is able to open up, then they learn more. So I'll give you an example. I worked with a few players that, who's this guy? I'm not an ex-Protea. I'm not an ex-Dolphins player. Who's this guy who's now coming in and coaching us? I had to spend a lot of time just throwing a ball and just not really saying anything and allowing the player to reach out to me. So if I went to the player and I said, okay, do this, this, and that, and then they're like, who the hell is this guy telling us this?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I had to earn my right to be able to say that. And that was literally for me to throw the ball or hit the ball for a player just to give me feedback. When I say give me feedback, they give me what they think they need. It's one of the hardest things coaches do. Find it hard to do is sometimes just sit back, help the player, and allow them to give you feedback. A lot of us coaches impose our ideas on players. No, I think you must do this, and I think you must do that. And you understand? Whereas one of the biggest things that I've learned is, just take a step back first. Don't feel as if you have to have information or impose information. Rather do what you would like to do to help the player, and then ask the relevant questions to push the player towards your suggestions, if you do have suggestions. And that is through asking questions. And that for me is how it builds the connection between you and the player. It's something that I've really worked on. I have sessions with players. It's actually fascinating where I speak to you and then I just throw and then I don't say anything. So I want you to think of this. Think of this. You are batting. I'm throwing the ball to you and you don't hit the ball the right way. Why do I have to tell you that you didn't have the ball?
Because you know that you didn't hit it the right way.
What I would have to do then is when you do hit the ball, as a player, why do I need to hear someone else telling me again that I didn't hit it well? So what I then do is, what do you think you could have done better with that ball?
Yeah.
You see, so what's happening is our mindset is working towards solution-orientated thinking versus identifying problems. So as coaches, you get two types of coaches. Coaches that identify problems and errors, and then you get coaches that ask questions to give you suggestions and give you solutions. So a lot of guys are, no, this bowler can do this better, or this batter can do this better, and this. And yes, I hear you. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. All I'm saying is that the manner in which we go about getting the information across could be with suggestions and questions to get the player to think. So I want you to think of something, and I was sharing this with one of the players. And I'm going to ask you the question. How much percentage do you think the game of cricket is mental?
Probably more than 80%, bro.
More than 80%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if it's mental and it's 80%, surely I would like to make that 80% that's mental a positive mental.
Wow.
Right? I would like to make that 80% positive.
Yeah.
It's so mental, right?
Yeah.
80% mental. Now, that's my first thing. I have to make that 80% positive.
Positive, yeah.
I need to make sure that you feel good and you're ready to execute what you have practiced.
And you believe you can, yeah.
And you believe you can.
Yeah.
Guys that have worked with me always say that, like, Duzi is a very positive guy and this, because we've just we've just agreed now that it's 80%. Some people say 90%. Some people say 70%.
Yeah.
But I've never heard anyone say less than 70%. So with that said, I need to make sure that I'm planting the right seed in your head on how you're going to execute the skill.
Wow.
Okay. So now what am I doing in an 80% mental game when I'm pointing out the errors? I'm planting a negative seed.
Jeez.
So I need to make sure that in my coaching, I cannot say anything negative. You understand? I can't say anything negative to you because the game is mental. So people get shocked. Guys, it's so fascinating. I love it when I see it.
Wow.
A guy comes in and he's asked for private coaching or pro coaching with me, and they play a shot and they make a mistake, and I don't say anything. I didn't say anything.
So why aren't you correcting me? Yeah.
You understand? So they get shocked. Like, why is he not correcting me? You know what I mean? Why is he not saying? Isn't he supposed to like tell me
that was a crap shot, or that was what option was that exactly? And we feel good by pointing out the errors as coaches. Wow.
You see, yes. Well, I keep quiet, and the kid looks at me and like they're like waiting for me to say something, and I say, try it again. Be fun to make mistakes. It's okay.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Like, what kind of a coach is this that says it's okay to make a mistake? Like, how does that work? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How does it work? You know what I mean? But but then how do we learn?
We have to make mistakes to learn. We have to make mistakes. Exactly. But we want to create an environment where we are so perfect. But then what's the fun of it if there's all perfection? Wow, that's amazing.
You know what I mean? So my whole approach to coaching and to players is like that. It's about you expressing yourself the way you want to express yourself, and you believe in yourself 100% to execute the skill that you would like to execute. Go out there and back yourself and make the most out of the opportunity that you've got. You are privileged. You are privileged to be in the situation that you're in. So I don't understand what pressure is. This is an opportunity for me to express myself and have fun. Pressure is a privilege because other people don't get the opportunity to be involved in this game like I am now. So I would like to make the most of the opportunity that I've got. So I'm more excited than feeling pressure for the opportunity I've got to play the game. So I think it's important. A lot of guys, and I won't even lie to you, it's a South African thing. It's really bad. People get nervous. They feel a lot of pressure, and they feel as if, listen, get excited, have a bit of fun. You know, go out there, enjoy what you're doing. It's not, you know what I mean? Like stop being so hard on yourself. You know what I mean? Stop being so hard on yourself. Like people always say, yo, Doozy's so confident about himself and this.
Yeah.
Listen,
or they mistake that with arrogance as well. Like, no, man, you're too arrogant. Wow.
Yes. Listen, I am privileged to be in the position I'm in. You know what I mean? Why must I hold back? This is who I am. I love what I do. I want to express myself. I want to go out there and do the best I can obviously do. And I feel that we hold back on that. It's like, let me give you an example. This is interesting. If you look at a guy like David Warner, okay? David Warner walks around like this, and that makes him go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then on the other end, you've got a guy like Pat Cummins, very relaxed guy, chilled, you know. You understand? And then you get a guy, you get different kind of characters in a team. I'm just giving you those because those are two extremes in one team.
Yeah. In one
so the
team,
way in which I treat David Warner, the way in which I treat David Warner versus the way maybe Pat comes and just wants me to talk to him and say, you know, Pat, I think maybe you could have done this better, whatever that. David Warner maybe wants me to be direct.
Hard hand as well. Wow.
You understand? I just think you can do better at this. And that's where it becomes individual with each player. How do you go about speaking to a player?
Wow.
You understand? And that's where the connection then becomes so important. Going back to the connection becomes that much more important because that player likes it that way. But you don't know that because you haven't found out. You need to spend time and connect with the player to find that out.
Find that out. Wow. But I could listen to you literally every single day. And it comes back to me as you're a man of confidence. And we just spoken about how to deal with different people and structuring drills or anything that suits different individuals. Because believe it or not, the game of cricket wouldn't be the game of cricket if everyone was the same. So if everyone was like a Virat Kohli, then it becomes too monotonous. If everyone was just chilled like Temba Bavuma again, it becomes boring. Now, I want to get to how do you structure a practice session when you've got 10, 15, or 20 different players, and maybe one is good at flat catching, the other one is good at high catching, or maybe they pride themselves in being boundary riders as opposed to be close catching. How then do you structure a how to practice drill?
Okay, so first of all, there's two types of training. So I break it down to two types of training. There's upskilling. That's one way in which of training, which is upskilling. Upskilling would be we're learning how to catch, and we're going to cover all aspects of catching, and then everybody's upskilling themselves on getting better. And then two is performance-based training, where we are looking for an outcome and there's a measurable to that training. So what you, in the off season, majority of the time, you're spending a lot of time upskilling. So I'll give you an example. I want everybody to do boundary riding. So we're all going to go to the boundary and we're all going to catch, so that all of us have the ability to catch on the boundary. We are all going to field at this position or in these positions in the inner ring. We upskilling everybody to be able to execute that skill. That's upskilling. Then when we go to performance, we start looking at who's the best in those positions. Out of, when we look at it, who moves faster, who catches better than the other, and then we can get more specific in moving guys into positions they're supposed to field. Now, here's my measurable, and this is how I go about things. If I ask you to catch and you catch one catch, you remember that you caught the one catch because you only catch one. If I make you catch 10, and it's not about I've dropped 10 or I've caught 10 or whatever it may be, I've caught 5 out of 10. No, you're going to catch 10. If it takes 100 goes, you're going to catch 10. We're not leaving this practice until you're going to catch 10. Now, if you catch 10, in your mind, you're not saying, yo, luckily I caught it. You were able to catch 10, showing that you have the ability to catch it. Okay. Because you caught 10. So I'm going to be very specific now. You caught 10 that went high, so straight up, and you caught 10.
Yeah.
Then you caught 10 that were flat. So flat catches.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you caught 10 that were line drives. And then you caught 10 that were overhead.
Yeah.
You see. So in your head, I don't want you to say that you can't catch or you're not sure. You've caught 40 catches. I don't care how long it's taken.
But you did.
But now you did it. You see, once again, what am I doing? I'm planting the seed in your head that you can do it.
Yeah.
And giving you the confidence that you can do it. So when it comes to practicing for me, and that's why I'm saying, once again, where are we spending our time? We're spending our time a lot on the 20% and not on the 80%. We need to mix it up so that we are still mentally getting people to think positive instead of them thinking negative, because it's such a mental game. So once you've caught your 40 at the practice, you will know that you are able to execute the skill and are able to execute the skill.
And it has
so
nothing
many
to
times I watch coaches.
Yeah. No, carry on, sir.
So many times I watch coaches, when a kid drops the ball or someone makes a mistake, we focus a lot on that. So the seed that we've planted now is of fear, the fear of failure because of the reaction of the coach. You see, whereas you don't need to do that. What you need to do is plant the seed of I can do it. and I can do it well. Not what if I get it wrong. If you got it wrong, you got it wrong once or twice.
So what?
And it's fine. But so what? Because you got 10. At the end of the day, you got the 10. How much better does that player leave the practice knowing that they executed the 10? Then there's no mental health problems then, because you're able to do it. You have the ability to do it. So you were able to do it. So well done.
The power of positive. Right? The power of positive.
Yes.
The
power of, that's it. And for me, I think we need to spend more time there.
And a lot of coaches, we feel like if we point out the negative, then we are bringing enough solutions. So instead of saying, okay, yes, you went forward, you were trying to defend it, good, you just didn't cover the line. Maybe next time, try to move a little bit this way towards off stump, then you're going to cover the line. Or maybe put your bet in this angle, maybe you're going to cover the line. As opposed to you're missing a straight one. Come on, man. Really?
You see, yes. Now listen to this, because I'm a fielding guy.
Yeah.
Everybody says catch the ball like this.
Yeah.
Okay. But one of South Africa's best fielders, Faf du Plessis, catches the ball like this.
And he still catches it. And we say, come on, that's nonsense. Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So allow people to have their own method. You got Brad Haddon, who's a keeper, world class. Then you got MS Dhoni.
He just catches it.
You see,
it's there to be caught. He catches it. Yes.
He catches it. Do you understand? Each to their own. Each person has their own way of doing stuff. And I think we need to encourage that. There's world-class bowlers out there in the world. We can even go on and on and on and on about bowlers, Malingas, different types of guys that do it their way and they execute.
I think if you look if you look at Steve Smith's batting technique, you would think, no, man, he's never supposed to hit a ball or be as successful as he is. But it comes back again to that positive reinforcement. And I think this is a lesson to all the coaches as well, that in the 80%, make sure that you are planting a positive 80. Because it's easy again.
Exactly.
Have you ever noticed that it's easy for you to believe that you suck than that you're good? When you make a mistake, it's easy to go, man, I missed a straight one. Or, man, I dropped a sitter. As opposed to, maybe if I just moved one step in, I would have caught that. Maybe if my hands were a little bit higher, I would have caught it. But there is, I would have. I can do it. And I like what you said as well, where, yes, you caught 40. Even if it took you 100 chances to take 40 catches, fact is you caught 40. Done.
Yes, done. That's it. Done. That's it. And I think one of the main things that I think of, and my dad did this to me, took a blank piece of paper. You probably know this, blank piece of paper, put a small dot in the middle, drew a little things around it. Yeah. And then he said, what do you see on the piece of paper? And then I said, no, I see this little dot and this, and that. He said, listen, this is an A4 piece of paper. You haven't said anything about the whiteness around that dot.
Jeez,
so as people, we spend a lot of time.
Gosh, wow. Yes, nah, man.
Listen, I'm dropping bombs here. I'm dropping bombs.
No, you're killing us, man. You're killing us. Yes, like, you.
Dropping bombs. I'm dropping bombs. It's a white piece of paper, A4 piece of paper. Yeah. My dad took a pen, he put a dot in the middle, he scribbled around the dot and did any weird thing in the middle of the paper. And then he asked me, what do you see? The first thing I said, I see a dot and I'm trying to figure out what is this? And he said, listen, my boy, this is an A4 piece of paper. There is more whiteness than the dot. So as people, yes, people spend a lot of time and energy on the one negative thing.
Sure.
They forget about all the whiteness on the white piece of paper. So those things for me were planted in my head early. So I always see positive. In my head, I see positive because I see opportunity through challenges and obstacles. I see that as opportunity. I don't see it as a setback. I see it as an opportunity to come back. Do you understand? So we think differently as people, but that's where I flirt majority of the time. I will get setbacks, but a setback is an opportunity for a comeback. So that's how I view things in my everyday life. and it's to see that you will have challenges, you will fail, you will make mistakes. That's part of life. We understand that. But how do we come back? How do we get better? How do we improve? It's like right now, what's going to happen is the South African cricket team is going to be compared to the Springboks, and they're going to be like, they're not good enough, they failed, and this.
And that's
Listen,
not
guys,
fair.
you've done so well this tournament.
And that's
you understand?
fair.
We've done so well in this tournament, and it's not fair. We've done so well in this tournament. It's probably the best brand of cricket I've ever seen the Proteas ever play in the World Cup.
Ever, yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
Let's build on that. Let's build on that. Let's go forward and go out there and believe we can get it right when it's 2027. Yeah. Because what we're going to do, we're going to waste our energy on these small little dots that we don't need to focus on. Fine, cool. We can learn a little bit from it, but we move on. We see a positive light. We see positive thinking, and we move forward towards it.
Wow. As a fielding coach, geez, coach, when are you having a conference? I'm coming, but I need to buy a ticket.
Listen, yesterday, I just want to tell you, yesterday I was watching the game, and I'm passionate about it. And I watched those Australians diving around. That Rassie catch. You saw that Rassie catch?
Yeah, proper.
The catch
bro.
of Rassie.
Proper, bro. Yes,
you understand?
yes.
That's world class.
World class, yeah.
And world class stuff. And I'll give you an example. There was a chance, I think David dived forward.
Yeah,
David dived
Warner.
forward and it just went short of it.
Yeah.
No, David Miller.
Miller.
He had a half chance opportunity.
Okay.
Dive forward. And in my head, I'm like, we need to teach guys more to dive forward. We dive to the side.
But never hardly forward. Yeah.
Yes. You understand? And it's exciting to see things like that because that excites me. And I say, okay, what can we do? And another thing is they didn't drop a catch. Australia did not drop a catch.
True.
You understand?
True.
The importance of the detail of any opportunity that we get, we've got to take.
You have to take it.
You understand? And once again, we can easily focus on the dot, but I want you to catch it so many times that when it comes in the game, it's that once in 100 times you drop it because you practiced it so much.
Yeah. What
you understand? So when we, I just want to give you an example. So when we get to a field, I want you fielding it long on. I want us to go to that specific field. So it's something that I've worked on myself. I've gone to the gym. I've worked on it. So I can hit the ball from where the batsman stands and hit it all the way to the boundary.
That's specific, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, specific. So I'm going to be specific. So when we get to this ground, I want to hit the ball to you so that you can get used to this ground. So I'll hit a few to you. Even if you do a couple, 3 or 4 or even 2, but I want you to be specific on where you're going to be and where you're going to catch the ball.
Yeah.
So that when it does come, you take it.
Wow.
You understand? Sometimes I get all the players and I get all the coaches and we hit. So you're going to catch 2 or 3 at that corner. The next coach, once you caught the 3, you move it to the next pocket. You catch 3 at that pocket. We move to the next pocket. You catch 3 at that pocket and around the whole field until you get specific on that field.
On that field. Wow.
On that field.
Coach, you are a fielding coach. What makes a good fielder? Like you look at a player and you're like, you're going to suck, or I think there's something to work on here.
First of all, the first thing I say when I work with the team is fielding is the only thing that we do as a team. So batting, you bat by yourself. When you bowl by yourself. But fielding is the only thing that we do as a team. That means each and every single one of us need to make sure that we do our part because this is a representation of us as a team. The heart of the team is through the fielding because if we are close together as a fielding unit, we will support each other. We will bring energy to the game. We will bring intensity to the game as a team. And that will obviously put us in good stead and we will bring a good vibe and a good team spirit. Don't see fielding as just an extra skill. It's an opportunity for me to spend time with my friends out there in the middle and showcase my skills. So I never see a bad fielder because we can manage that.
Wow.
We can manage that. I can't expect Shamsi to be the same as Aiden Markram. I can't. But Shamsi will have to still field the ball in the game. I need to make sure that he plays his part. Wow. And he's good enough because he's a representation of the fielding unit, even if it is Shamsi. I'm not saying Shamsi is the best fielder or a bad fielder. I'm saying he's part of the team. Compared to Aiden Markram, maybe he's world-class. Shamsi is okay. I want us all to play our part in the fielding. So I don't look at a player and say he can't field. I don't do that. So I want to give you the confidence.
So there's no such thing as a bad fielder. Wow.
I can't plant once again. What seed am I planting in your head?
Negative.
You're a bad fielder. Negative. The thing is, I've seen, I'll never forget, I first came into the Dolphins and we had a few guys that were quite big, right? And I got them to believe like they could field.
Yeah.
So the one big guy was running and he was chasing the ball and he dived and he stopped it and he picked it up and he threw it. And then as he threw it, he looked up at the change room and he was so happy. Like, I just proved this guy I can do it.
I did it.
You understand?
Yeah.
I did it. You understand? And that for me was so like heartwarming because I met a guy who didn't see fielding as, you know, a thing that is big. For him to get excited at the fact that he could make a difference in the game. He was going for 4 and he did it and he stopped it before he went for 4. He stopped it and he threw it back. And that for me meant so much because it said this guy's attitude towards fielding changed.
Wow.
You know, he's not just standing there waiting to get his opportunity to bat and bowl, but now he's saying I can make a difference in the field.
Yeah.
You see.
Wow.
And that's where for me it starts. It starts with we all have a part to play. I am not asking for a lot, guys. All I'm asking for us to do the basics extremely well.
Just the basics.
I'm not asking for a lot. I'm asking for us to do the basics extremely well. Wow. You know? So once we do see, I must also give you the confidence. Because you've played cricket, you understand, how many catches have you seen from the most random guys? Even their catching technique is off, but they got it.
But got it, yes. Yes. You're like, wow, geez, I got it.
Exactly. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is, yes, we will look at the technique. Yes, we have to make sure we help the player. Yes, we will do that. Yes, I understand that. But for me, where it first starts is the mentality and the mindset towards the actual skill.
Wow.
So get excited. See it as an opportunity for you to contribute to the team. See it as an opportunity for you to spend time with friends. And it's the one thing that we do together as a team.
Do
you understand? As a team, you know?
Coach Duzi, you are one man that anyone can listen to forever. And even now, I'm scolding myself and punching myself in the guts that I did not get to see you face to face or get to see you in doing what you are doing. But I promise you, when I get to Durban, I'm gonna say, Coach, I'm around. Can I just come through and just watch you do your thing? This is amazing what you're doing for the cricket. What challenges have you met in you being with the Dolphins or you being in a professional setup? Especially, you mentioned earlier that one would ask, who is this guy? He's never played for Proteas. He doesn't have a big name, whatever the case may be. And that is a challenge. And you strike me as nothing like that ever fazed you, in a sense that you start self-doubting your abilities or self-doubting the confidence that the Dolphins board gave onto you to say, this is your job, take it and make sure that you do the best that you can. What challenges have you faced being in a professional setup that when someone is looking from the outside, aspiring to be coaching at a very higher level like you, would say, this is what you have overcome?
First, I want to take it back. I'm going to get into the professional now, but I just want to quickly share a story with you. I went on a provincial tour when I was under 12 with a coach. When we finished that tour, I went back to the guy who was my cricket director at the school I was working at. And I asked him, do you think I'm better than the guy that I went on the tour with? And he said, currently, I don't think you're better than him. I think he's better than you. And I just wanted to let you know that he's just got more experience than you. He's just better than you. And that hurt me. That hurt me. And the reason why I bring that up is because the biggest mistake I did was I compared myself to another person.
Sure.
And then to hear that that person is better then hurts me.
Sure. But you already compared
at the same
yourself,
time,
yeah.
A very good, yes, you understand? That in itself got me to think another way. And I came up with something that was very encouraging for me, which was I'm only going to compete with myself. Wow. The only person that I'm going to compete with is myself. I'm going to try to be the best that I can be because I didn't like that feeling of someone telling me that this guy is better than me. And yes, we in sports and we compare and teams win and people are better and cool. I understand that. But I think the person that I look at in the mirror is probably the most important person. So I need to make sure that he's happy and we are moving in a direction in which we're trying to be the best versions of ourselves. So that stuck with me. And when I moved into the professional space, going into the professional space, I could not doubt myself. I could not doubt myself, even though I had not played and professional or anything of that kind. And I couldn't doubt myself. That's one. Two, who is this young black guy? You understand? Yeah. In a white-dominated sport, to come into a professional and think he can make a difference. Who the hell? So that in itself for me said, okay, I understand that. But once again, goes back to that old experience of mine. I can't compare myself. So you can compare me. This is a black coach. This is a white coach. This is a colored coach. This is an Indian coach. I don't have time to compare. I'm going to be really good at what I do. I'm going to be the best. Yeah, I'm going to be the best version of myself. What you think of me is what you think of me. I'm going to do what I have to do.
Nothing. It's none of my business.
And that for me gave me. It's none of my business. I'll stay in control of the things that I have control over. I'm not going to worry about my things about what other people think. I will add value in the environment that I'm in. And I will make sure that I do my best my job to the best of my ability. Simple as that. So when I got into that space and the challenges were being tested and being questioned, those are the tests. Does this guy really know what he's doing? Sure. Best believe I know what I'm doing because I've made sure that I'm prepared for it and I'm ready to do it.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And that's and the doubt can't come in because I've prepared for it. Do you understand? I know what I'm doing, and that's where people need to go back and make sure that they're prepared. So we go back to the grandfather story where he used to polish his shoes. We used to make sure that everything is, you understand? That's what I do. I check that my bat is fine, that I'm going to be hitting the ball to the guys. I check if my mitt doesn't have holes. I check that I'm in a good space. You know what I mean? And then obviously from there, I get going like that.
Wow.
And that for me is for me. And that's what gets me going. So the first thing I need to do when I wake up is saying, here's another opportunity for you to go out there and showcase your skills and your talent. How can I doubt myself in front of other people? But yet again, I cannot compare myself to another man. I can only compare myself to who I am. And I'm going to be the best version of myself today. Done.
Wow.
You understand?
Kudos to you, bro. Kudos to you, man. Damn, there's so much power in what you just say that you need to make sure that the person that you look in the mirror is happy. That's one. And is doing the best that he can to be the best version of themselves. Before anyone else says what or negative. So when the negative comes, obviously there's so much positive that is just going to infiltrate. So you're not even feeling it as well. So there's so much power in what you just said there.
I've been doubted many times.
Wow.
Many times. Trust me, many times. Like that. Trust me. It's I've been questioned many times. Many times.
Wow.
But for me, it's that inner and core within yourself. You know one thing that I learned, and this is fascinating. You would be very shocked that even the professional players are insecure about themselves.
Yeah.
And it's a human thing. We can be insecure about ourselves. And I think it's important that people need to know that. People need to know that sometimes you sit there and you're not quite sure if you're good enough or if you can really do this. And it's being able to confront that and look that in the face and say, I understand that. And I'm vulnerable in this situation right now, but I'm going to embrace the vulnerability. I'm going to embrace the nervousness. I'm going to embrace the challenges, because this is part of the journey. This is part of the journey. This is what I will go through. I will score ducks. I will drop catches. I will bowl wides. But it's how I come back. Each setback sets you up for a comeback. So go out there and back your ability. And when you do make a mistake, it's okay. It's about how you come back from that mistake.
That's what matters. Wow.
That's all that matters.
Wow.
And you keep on trying over and over again until you get it right.
Yeah. Coach Mdu, let me not take you for long. What's coming up for you in the next 5 years? Where do you see yourself?
I'm going to be involved in the Proteas.
Power.
That's what we do.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm super excited. I'm super excited. I'm patient. I have a dream. And that dream, I will chase it for my whole life. And that is to get the South African team to win a Cricket World Cup. That is my dream. Awesome. And I will keep chasing that dream. I was very unlucky at one stage. And, you know, it's part of life, part of my journey. It was a setback. I got picked for the South African team to help with the fielding. They were going to be playing matches against Netherlands, and they'd asked me to come in and be the fielding guy for that series. And I got COVID. It was during the COVID time, and I couldn't join the team. And yes, it was a small little opportunity, and I got COVID and I couldn't join the team. And the funny thing about it is that I felt fine and I wasn't like sick or anything like that, but I tested positive for COVID. And luckily, I've had to wait, and I'm still waiting for another opportunity. And, you know, India are coming to South Africa, and maybe I could be helping out there in that series with the Proteas. You know, they're going to be playing here in Durban, T20s, and it's going to be exciting. And I think I'm going to be helping there. Coach Rob asked me to help, and hopefully it does happen. You know, but that's my dream. It's as simple as that. In 5 years' time, I will be involved in the Proteas. If not, I'll be hopefully coaching one of the franchise teams as a head coach. And also at the same time, it's not really at the end of the world if I don't. I feel you need to make an impact and add value in people's lives. And I'm fortunate enough to be in that space. And for me, God has sent me as a vessel to get other people to maybe believe in themselves, maybe take a different journey, maybe hear the words I have to share. So as long as I'm adding value and I'm bringing light to the world.
And the Bible says when the time is right, the Lord will make it happen. So definitely in the waiting, you're being refined. In the waiting, God is doing his thing. So it will come to pass. And kudos to you for all the work that you're doing, for the positivity. You've got no idea how much you just impacted me right now. As I go in and I'm captaining your side and I'm telling them what you're saying, as I'm coaching and I'm telling the guys what you just said about positive, that to me is just going to resonate with my life forever, bro. And that's just amazing. Lastly, what advice would you give to an aspiring coach?
What I would give to an aspiring coach is, first of all, be passionate about what you do. Go out of your way to find out more. Be innovative. Be patient. I feel like a lot of coaches want things straight away. The more time that you spend and nurture your talent, the better you'll be through time. So be able to invest time in yourself and invest in yourself and the knowledge that you have. And be knowledgeable. Make sure that you go out there and you know what you're talking about and you've done research about it. And just look to add value in other human beings' lives, not only in the game of cricket, but in life in general. I feel as coaches, we have a great opportunity to impact other people. So let's utilize that the way that we should. Watch what we say and make sure that we're passing positive light on other people and shining that all the time.
Wow. Coach Mdu, you've been amazing. Thank you so much. May God continue to shine his light upon you. May all your endeavors and all your dreams come true. May you continue to be a servant and a custodian of the game. So thank you for spending your time, your last hour. I know you could be doing something better with your life, throwing balls or hitting balls or catches and whatever, but you decided to spend time with us and give us some hard-hitting nuggets Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much, sir. You know what? I can only say, you know what, from here on, wish you all the best with everything that you're doing. And may you carry on. Keep that head high. And even when it comes to times where you feel like I'm not good enough, you of all people, you know that you are good enough and you are making an impact. So thank you so much, Mike.
Thank you so much for having me. All the best, and keep on doing what you're doing. I'm enjoying it, and keep pushing, my man.
Awesome. Appreciate it, man. Cheers. Woo! And we're back. How amazing was that? And we are back, and Mduduzi just killed us with so much nuggets. At some point in the interview, I was going like, yo. The power of positive, that's one. How to train, how to be a coach, and the advice they in, the challenges and everything that you went through. Remember, if you want to share, you definitely can share with your mate, share with your other fellow coaches or players, whatever the case may be. A big shout out to Dolphins Cricket for allowing Mdu to do this interview, because he didn't have to do it, but he did. And I'm so thankful for the amount of people that are coming through and believing in this podcast and what we're trying to achieve as a team. So well done to the team. Well done to everyone that made this possible. Well done to everyone that still watches, likes, shares, subscribes. All 1,000 of you watch this because it's good for you, not only from a cricket point of view, but also from a life's perspective. Staying positive is good. Remember to sponsor the channel. You put an advert like I did when I started on with Best Mini Removals. This becomes yours, your own company. As you establish your own footprint in this world, my listeners and my viewers can buy from you. We get a kickback. You get to sell your products. Thank you so much for being with us. If you're still here, please consider liking, sharing, and subscribing. Just give it a thumbs up if you like this video, because YouTube is going to push it to the next person. Please consider subscribing if you have not done so already. Thank you so much for the people that have already done so. I will see you guys on Sunday with the Man Podcast. We don't rest. Take care of yourselves. Cheers for now.